East Rutherford. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They run with a second-round pick from Iowa State. This is Breece Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 27, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. From the gun, it's Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. The Jets at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
From the 40 now on second down. Wilson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wilson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run good for 24 yards.
The general manager of the New York Jets continues to make investments in the receiver room in this draft. 10th overall pick. They invested again, this time with Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Great speed, outstanding body control, really goes up and snatches the ball.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He's brought down by Terrell Burgess. This defense for the Jets, much improved from week one. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. That makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, we need to change quarterback. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. They'll send the tight end in motion. Play action. Now Wilson. That is caught at the 7. Touchdown. Garrett Wilson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
11 MT, 11 MT, 11.
Now it's Burrow. Again, that's Hurst. On the move past the 40. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
It's Mixon on the counter. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
11 MT,
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. And they go play action now. Burrow. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
This is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wilson. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson.
Part partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
11-90.
On 3rd down, Burrow. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he missed it. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. They go play action with Wilson. They'll roll him out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Play action. It's Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Garrett Wilson
with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half.
And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
On and one. Ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find...
That's caught at the 25. And they're going to get the... Inside the 20. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Burrow will throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
He finds Corey Davis. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I think Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Back to the ground with Hall. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt that.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's the Jets punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
On one, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with great starting field position up near the 50, they might be one completion away from stealing a late field goal here.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now a timeout signal for him. They'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Burrow.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm not sure it made a difference on that play, but one thing to keep in mind, here in the early part of the year during a day game, the sun does play a factor on deep balls.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter.
The Bucs set to get to football first, and they trail here as we get started in the 2nd half. This taken in at the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So already not the best. There, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Burrow on play action. Airing one out for Boyd. And got his man complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
Running left, it's Mixon. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Now Hall to start the drive.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there. Now it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. To throw is Wilson. Had got his hands on it but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. On third down, Wilson.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
He's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop it.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a third and long after that sack we just saw.
11, mighty. 11, mighty.
They'll set up to throw.
Slant pass to Boyd.
It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
11.
Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. And he's got Hurst, his tight end.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage. And that'll keep the drive alive.
Here we go.
Mixing up the middle. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And his throw here's incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here's Burrow. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Quincy Williams worked his way back for that sack.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So they get the 3 points, but they've now had 3 trips into the red zone, and that's all they've come away with.
And in the NFL, the way they measure red zone efficiency and success, did you score touchdowns on those drives? That's first and foremost. Getting points, that's the second measurement. So by that measure, they haven't done very well. They've got to figure that out.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Hall again on second down. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Hall.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
On second down, a run with Hall.
And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson.
That pass complete to Moore.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
They'll run with Hall.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming in.
Hall has it knocked loose.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered, they still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run it here with Hall. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are right back in this football game. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Burrow looking to pass. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Here we go. It's Burrow on fourth down. And my goodness, another. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Line of scrimmage moves from 137-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Bryce Hall.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown.
I'll just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick six, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, and they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick six?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight.
He's got a man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Here we go.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Burrow. And now here's another interception.
And the Jets will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
He has a man. It's complete to Wilson.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
Hall ought to give up the middle.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those...
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 41.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the offense is going to get this ball back. So no turn.